Good morning, stackers. Here's your Monday market outlook. A quick scan of gold, silver, precious metals, stocks, Bitcoin and crypto with me, Joe Main, for Monday, the 21st of July, 2025. Brought to you by Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au to buy your favorite gold and silver physical bullion. Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com, your amazing educational system. And Stormrake, stormrake.com, your full-service cryptocurrency brokerage where you get 2% brokerage fees for life when you sign up with my link. I'll put it somewhere. Let's do a quick synchronized slurp. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's take a look at gold. Let's get all through it. It is gold on the daily time frame, priced in USD 3,347 US dollars. Not a lot to say, just in a trading range still. Nothing saying 100% going up from here, 100% going down from here. All you need to know is I really need to see, me personally, need to see it crack and hold through. We've tried it a couple of times. It's been a few spikes, but it hasn't cracked through this top end here of 3,355 US dollars. That is the top end of the zag zone from this high and this low, the Fibonacci levels. Get through there, hold that. Then we'll start talking, okay, now we're sort of hovering in the top half of this symmetrical triangle, which is good, which would lend it to say something like that. Ignore the time frame, ignore the way it actually happens, but that's good, okay? And what we don't want to see is basically closing below that 3,300 kind of level and closing below there. That's it. So trading range at the moment, I lean in the upward direction in the longer term, $8,000, $10,000 gold. We're going higher eventually. It just don't know quite yet in the next, week or so. Not sure. Let's hopefully go with that. That would be wonderful. Then I'll say, you crack above this downtrend line right there. I'll say, okay, new all-time high coming in gold in a matter of weeks. Okay, not months and months and months from now. But again, looking fantastic for gold in the longer term. Let's take a look at silver. Again, silver on the longer term, fantastic. We will be going to 50 US dollars. We will be getting to triple digit silver in US dollar terms. That'll be way higher in Australian dollar terms or whatever currency you are in. Okay, you're using, but we are at $38.15 US cents. A bit more of a dip here wouldn't surprise me. Again, either way, kind of with gold as well. I know where it's going over the longer term. I'm not going to worry too much about, where it's going in the short term. But if you want, you could say from this low and this high, you could say if we crack through. And here's the positive for silver, and I have been saying this so far. We have been holding this top end here, the top end of the zag zone, the 0.382, so holding that, that's great. If we dip down, no problem. Preferably don't want to dip anywhere further below about that $36.70, that $36.70, $36.80 level. That might set it up for a little bit of a lower move, but don't stress. I mean, even if you come down to say here or even lower, even if you come down to match the sort of 34, 35 kind of dollar area, that's just simple. It's a breakout and it's a retest. Don't stress. Silver is looking very good over the longer term. And if you're dollar cost averaging, which is the best way to do it, buy on the regular, regardless of what the price is, every paycheck, once a month, pick an interval for you and just average your cost in over time. You'll be sailing in the years to come. But don't be surprised if you get a little bit of a further dip from here. But don't stress about it. That is silver. Let's take a look at platinum. Now, platinum is doing what I thought it could potentially do, which is a bearish divergence is still playing out on that. So we had that little bit of extra move higher. And I did say in a video a couple of days ago, best buy zone. Sometime last week, I put in the best buy zone anywhere from $1,230 anywhere down to $1,100. And I gave favor to 1,230 because it's a confluence of Fibonacci levels from these ones here, from this low and this high, and a really old school high and low from the macro highs and lows. Okay, right there. And so I'm favoring that price, and I do still think we head down to around about there. We did crack through the recent high of 1430, and I did say in a recent video, just watch out for the little splurt of the gas tank, but then you've got to see what the relative strength index is doing. So we have seen that. So higher high, that looks like a pivot at this stage, lower high in the relative strength index. I'm still going to say for now, I'm expecting 1230. Probably no lower than there, I'm guessing, to be touched. That's just my, I don't know, gut feeling about it. I do know with gold's going higher, silver is going higher, platinum's going higher as well. It's going to break all-time highs eventually, which is like $2,300 and beyond for platinum. This is just little, movements down, ups and downs along the way. I think that there is the most likely scenario. Could I be wrong? Yes. Should your dollar cost average anyway? Could it just sail through and do that? Sure. I'm going to stick with that for the moment. That is platinum. I want to show you something today very quickly in palladium, because palladium has broken out. Okay, doesn't mean it's going to stay broken out, but palladium looks very interesting here. Okay, palladium on the weekly time frame, US dollars 1,255. It finally broke and closed a week above that resistance level. Okay, so we have a weekly breakout. Now we're looking a little bit peaky. Okay, so we might quite likely have a little bit of a test to freak some people out, but I think eventually we turn around and then we break it. Okay, I'm going to show you the palladium price versus the platinum price in a second as well. You might find that very interesting. So on balance of probability, on the daily time frame, it's great to see. Okay, probably most likely happening this week when we open is that we will probably come down into here somewhere, maybe down into this general kind of area, and I think that will probably freak some people out, and they go, oh, we broke, it's failed move, oh no, and then it does something like that, and then eventually breaks out through. So that's my feeling. Again, not financial advice. I do think palladium will continue. We've had we finally closed a week above that area, and the close of the week is good. Okay, not just a spike, but it was a close. That's very good. I think something like that kind of happens. Of course, don't do anything I would do and all that kind of stuff. But major level, yeah, that kind of sits about right. Let's see, between the 0.618 and the 0.382. Yeah, anywhere into that zone, I think is very normal. Yeah, down into kind of there-ish. Maybe faffing around for a little bit. That's my technical term, faffing around. And then eventually I think it will break. So palladium is now breaking out of a decent accumulation range. Okay, it's coming out of a bottom right there. And I think it's got some room to continue. So it hasn't had its start of its big run yet, unlike platinum, which it has. So let's take a look quickly at the palladium to platinum ratio, because palladium, I think, might continue to outperform platinum in just the short term at least. Here's the palladium to platinum ratio. This tracks palladium versus platinum. As this is going up, palladium is outperforming it. As this is going down, platinum is just killing palladium. Get it? Got it? Good. You can see where palladium was the absolute king between the two back in March of 2020. Palladium was the absolute king until about March, and then it's just been on a steady decline. Now you can see here on the weekly time frame, you've got some bullish divergence playing out where you've got a lower low on this ratio and a higher low on the relative strength index. You can also see that we've broken back up through this level of resistance, so that's good. So we're through there. You want that to now remain as support. Okay, so something like this. Don't close back below there, and this becomes what is known as the, I guess in a ratio term, it's the liquidity grab. Okay, it's the fake out where people get faked out here and then it turns around. So if you have a bottoming out something like this and you break here, you could say that palladium may continue its run against platinum. Does that mean you should just sell your platinum and just go buy palladium? No, it's not as simple as that. It's just a good idea to keep an eye out on these ratios. For example, I do not suggest that people purchase physical palladium. It's harder to get here in Australia. The fees are higher, the premiums are higher, the buyback rates aren't very good. There's GST, goods and services tax added to it. So don't worry about it. But there are ways you can get into exposure to Palladium, and they happen to actually just be the same things that you would get into if you're getting into platinum mining stocks. So it's basically the similar things anyway. But it's good to see that Palladium is now having its run as well. So it's giving credence to Platinum's run. Okay, so gold goes, silver goes, platinum goes, Palladium looked like it might be going as well. So just keep an eye out on that. There might be a time, and I would suggest right here that if it closes anywhere above that 1.2 kind of area, you could really see Palladium really outshine Platinum for a period of time. So I just want you to keep an eye on that, or follow me and subscribe to me, and I'll keep you updated with it. And finally, we'll look at copper. Then we'll do some stocks and some crypto as well. Here is copper. $5.60, not a lot to say, just in a trading range. That is pretty much it. It's looking good, and I literally don't have much to say about that. We're holding up really well. Once we broke out of that $5 range, we broke out, tested it as support. The Trump tariff thing came out about copper. I don't actually know what's still going on with that, but it hasn't had a massive dip yet, and that's really good. So as long as we can break and hold above $5.70, new all-time highs coming for copper. Stay updated by subscribing to myself. I won't talk about gold and silver miners, anything like that right now. Let's get to some quick stock talk. Just the general stock stuff, and then we'll get to Bitcoin and crypto. Of course, if you want to buy physical precious metals, you should be going to Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au. Why? The best bullion dealer in all of Australia. You get free shipping when you have 20 or more items in your shopping cart. You can mix and match one of this, two of that, 7 of that, whatever it is. As long as it's 20 or more items, free shipping, okay? Express delivery, sign-on delivery, fully insured, all that good stuff, except you don't have to pay for it like you have to do with all the other bullion dealers here in Australia. Yeah, perthbullion.com.au. Let's get to some stock talk very quickly. Let's take a quick look at the general stock market, which would be the SPX, the S&P 500. Probably not really a lot to say on the weekly time frame. Market's looking strong. Who would have thunk it, hey? All these tariffs and this and that apparently is going to tank the economy, but not just yet, okay? We are looking pretty good. We broke out of that 6,160 kind of range, and so far we're above it. There is nothing indicating yet that we're turning back down. Some people believe that a massive recession, a massive global or a massive US market crash might be coming soon. That could be the case. So far, it's not presenting itself, but anything can happen. So it looks like onwards and upwards for the moment until the data proves otherwise. That's the SPX, the NDX, which is your tech stocks. Where are we? Tech stocks looks pretty much textbook, same thing. Broke out of there on the weekly time frame. No bearish divergences, nothing. It's just onwards and upwards at the moment until it's not, but we'll just follow the data, and that's pretty much it. Anything other specifically that I want to look at? No, I think that's pretty much it. General stock market is looking good. There was a wonderful live stream that I watched yesterday as part of Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com, one of my brand sponsors, of which I'm starting their course. I'll talk about that in just a second, where it was talking about, so David, ASX trader, as he's known on the internet, talked about the Australian stock market versus the US stock market. It was very interesting, and I'll give you the brief breakdown of that. When there are periods where the US stock market has big dips, okay, but the Australian stock market actually does really well compared to it. He's actually suggesting that coming up soon, that might be the case once again, where it's a bit of a, it's currently US-centric stock market, and it's going to flip to the Australian stock market, okay? So, for example, if we look at the XJO, so this is the Australian stock market, right? here, and it's looking really good, just like the rest. But he did an amazing comparison between the two and showed how where there was, so for example, in the GFC of 2008, where the US stock market had a massive dip, we're talking like 80-90% in certain stocks, etc. The Australian stock market did have a dip, but it was nowhere near as bad, and then it had this massive absolute tear, whereas the US stock market just kind of traded for a while, just kind of ranged for quite a while, and the Australian stock market just went nuts. Okay, so he's actually suggesting that might be happening again soon. I don't have that comparison chart to show you, but I do highly recommend heading over to Mastering the Markets, masteringthemarkets.com. Now, I'm actually starting their 12-month course. Technically, today I've got a bit of pre-course stuff to start today, and I'm starting the first lesson is tomorrow. It's 3 lessons per week. They're live streams, they're interactive, etc. So I'm doing the year-long comprehensive course that starts. So you're actually going to go on the journey with me. What I'm going to do from this week for the next year, once a week probably on the live stream. I'm thinking on the Thursday live stream, I'm going to do a what I learned this week segment. And I won't go in, I'm not going to teach you, but I'm just going to say here's the general things I learned this week from the year-long course. So you can get a good sort of indication of what it's like being part of the Mastering the Markets course. And also you can join Mastering the Markets for free. If you go to you go to academy.masteringthemarkets.com. It's free to sign up. There's a free section, okay, where you'll get some stuff for free. And then, of course, if you want to get into all the other stuff that they do, the educator calls, all the other stuff that they do that they don't put out for free, then you pay a membership fee. But it's not like buying a course. You don't have to do a course or anything like that. You can just sign up for Mastering the Markets. And even me being part of Mastering the Markets Academy for the last 3 months before starting the course, I've learned so much already. So can I highly recommend you at least go to academy.masteringthemarkets.com, sign up for the free portion. I kind of get a feeling in like about a month's time, you'll be like, I want more. And then you might sign up. And I don't get in, there's no referral links or anything like that. It's just I'm doing their course and I'm very happy to be a part of it. And I'm going to share my experience with you on Thursday live streams. Okay, so make sure you follow me, etc. That's the general stock market. And we're going to take a look at Bitcoin and crypto. Let's take a quick look right here. Let's see. This is the weekly time frame. This is the Bitstamp exchange price, and we'll take it to the daily. All right. Here is Bitcoin on the daily time frame, priced in USD, 117,400 US dollars. Okay. Still looking good. Maybe a bit of a dip into this general area here. And I think I did it from this low and this high, I'm going to assume it was. Let's go with that. Yeah, it is right there. It lines up perfectly. So at this stage, it's actually staying above the 0.236. That's quite bullish, okay, as long as we're above there. Can you see how it's spiking down? But it's closed the day. It's a couple of spikes. Look at that. But closed the day every time so far above the 0.236. But as I said in a recent video, you can get anywhere down into here, and that's fine. I preferably wouldn't want to see it close below 110,000, although you can get all the way down to about 108,000, and that's still pretty normal. Again, markets go up, markets go down. This is your zag zone. This is the area in which you can find a normal retracement, okay? Anywhere below here, then you'd start to get a bit concerned. Then you'd start to go, well, hang on, resistance here. Why aren't they buying at previous resistance? Why aren't they buying there? Why aren't they buying there? Why aren't they, why aren't they buying here? That's where they should be buying as well. If you start closing in here, ooh, that's not good. Then we'd be talking about lower prices. Not saying it's happening, but just watch out. Markets go up. Markets had a bit of a dip. No problem. Hopefully onwards and upwards for Bitcoin. That's really all I have to say about that. Am I bullish on Bitcoin on the longer term? Absolutely. I mean, Bitcoin will go to $1 million eventually, because I think that's just algorithmically kind of programmed as such. 21 million Bitcoin. Institutions are adopting it. It's not like they're suddenly going to go, oh, we're not doing it anymore. It's the wave of the future. You will get a $1 million Bitcoin price eventually. years down the track. Don't know when that is, but why would you not dollar cost average into Bitcoin now? Bitcoin is the new gold in terms of, for me, in terms of insurance policy. You own gold as an insurance policy. You do. Why? Because that's just what you do. You have some gold just in case. It's like putting your seatbelt on in your car. It's like owning life insurance. It's like having car insurance. You never think you'll get into a car accident, but you have car insurance, don't you? You buy gold. 10% of your portfolio into gold as an insurance policy. You should probably, not financial advice, be putting 10% of your net wealth into Bitcoin as an insurance policy, because I think it's going to $1 million eventually. But along the way, it's going to go up and it's going to go down. Bisha from Stormrake, stormrake.com, believes $200,000 Bitcoin is happening in 2025, this year even, okay? So don't stress about the little dips. Over the longer term, Bitcoin is looking fantastic, in my humble opinion. That is Bitcoin. Others, very quickly. Others is the altcoin market minus the top 10. We're at $303.6 billion US dollars. Looks like we might have a bit of a double top going on. Ooh, is that double toppy? I don't know. So this is measuring the general altcoin market. You had a succession of bearish divergence into hidden bullish divergence into another bearish divergence, which didn't play out. Okay, so that didn't play out. We had that topping here of 308. We've just had a higher high of 310. You want to be watching out from around here. Let's see, is that bearish to you? Let's have a look. So that's a slightly higher high, and you've got, that's actually technically a slightly higher high. I don't know. That's kind of confluent. I don't know if you can say that that is the bearish divergence just yet. Okay, not so sure. That's pretty much slightly higher high, slightly higher high. Okay, just watch out for this general area here, because you're in the zag zone at the moment and you've got all the trapped money up there. So as smarter people than me, again, like, you know, Dave from ASX Trade, from Mastering the Markets has been saying, and I do agree, is that you're coming up to this massive level right here with all this trapped money. And this is when the Trump trade happened. This is when Trump came out as like crypto, you know, release the Trump coin, etc. This is back here, okay, and this was the lows down here. People bought in here thinking it's just going to keep going. Trump's in now. He's getting in. He's, you know, he's going to be inaugurated, blah, blah, blah. Oh, it's going to be crypto central, and then it faked you out. Okay, so these people, some of these people will be burned, and they're going to break even around about that level. So you're going into battle with these people over here. So just watch out for this 310, 315 kind of area. It happens to be the 0.5 from this high and this low, or the Fibonacci. So round about here, you just got to be a little bit careful. What you want to see is come down, do that, ignore the time frame. If you break through there, and particularly that 350 billion, okay, it is game on for crypto. I will be so deep in crypto. I might even sell some stocks or sell some silver or precious metals to get in. Maybe, I probably won't. But that 350 billion is absolute key, okay? You're through that battle there, through that trapped money. You're through that. It's basically sky's the limit. Like, where's the trapped money after that? Like, not really. Where is it? It's not there. So if you break, and that's through that resistance here. Look at that. Through there, man, that is good times ahead for crypto for a period of time, but you would see probably an all-time high in others. Okay, and that can send your favorite cryptos through the absolute roof. Now, we're not there yet. Okay, you've got to get through that battle of that roughly 310, 315, anywhere up to that 350 kind of mark. So let's see, please and thank you, something like that-ish. Cool? But I would hazard a guess that if you break, let me get through there for you. If you do this, if you have that test, then you come back there and then you do that, it's probably quite likely that the 350 billion gets taken out. You got to be weary of maybe a bearish divergence. Yeah, it could fake you out there, but geez, it would look good if it starts breaking through there. Be cautious, but we'll be looking all right. I'm not going to do individual crypto right here. I'm going to do all that on my X account. So if you head over to x.com/itsjoemain, x.com/itsjoemain right here, and I'll be looking at stuff like Toshi, XCH, Alchemy Pay, we'll do Algo, we might do ZBCN, Zbeck Network, we might do a bunch of different individual crypto over here on my X account. So follow me over there, that would be very much appreciated. And of course, if you want to get into crypto but you don't want to do it yourself, or if you want to get your friends and family into crypto, and you don't want to do it for them because you don't want the tax implications, all that kind of stuff, the easiest way is to send them to Stormrake, stormrake.com. Bitcoin is going to $1 million per Bitcoin eventually down the track. Why not set up an account now and start dollar cost averaging in? You buy $100 of Bitcoin, buy $1,000 of Bitcoin. Okay, buy $1,000 of Bitcoin once every few months. Okay, over the longer term, you need some Bitcoin in your portfolio, again, as an insurance policy, just like gold. Now, Bitcoin is the thing to add to that insurance policy thing, okay? And then do what you want with the rest of your wealth, but you've got to buy a bit of Bitcoin, okay? Do it through Stormrake, stormrake.com, a full-service cryptocurrency brokerage. Now, they charge 3.5% brokerage fee. However, if you sign up with my account, with my link, I'll put it somewhere, you get it for 2%, a 42% saving, okay? That's also for the lifetime of the account. When they raise prices later on down the track, pick a time, I don't know, you've locked in 2% for the life of the account, okay? And that's for full service cryptocurrency brokerage. They will buy it for you. You just call them or send them an email. I want X amount of Bitcoin or an altcoin. You can even chat with them and say, hey, dedicated broker, what looks good this week? What do you recommend? Okay, they'll give you their opinion. And they'll do it all for you. They'll get the best prices. And also they can do custody for you. They can put it on a cold wallet and store it in their secure systems, or they can just send it to you and you can do self-custody as well. I highly recommend Stormrake, stormrake.com, and you would be a fool if you did not at least sign up for an account, even if you didn't buy for 6 months. Just sign up for the account, lock in the 2%, because I don't know how long my 2% deal is going to last, obviously. Sometimes deals last forever, sometimes they don't. Sign up at least bare minimum, and then get your friends and family to sign up as well. That is Stormrake, stormrake.com. Ladies and gentlemen, finally what we do is the synchronized slurp for the day. I go live on Tuesdays and on Thursdays where we do a synchronized slurp every single time. Ready? 3, 2, 1, slurp your beverage. Beautiful. Thanks for watching the Monday Market Outlook. Stay safe, stay informed, keep stacking whatever you're stacking, and I'll see you on the live show tomorrow. Bye.